And hello YouTube, this is GS Smart, and I'm today with another brand new tutorial. In today's tutorial, we're going to be looking at a program called Audacity. And Audacity is basically a recording program. It's actually a free recording program, and it's quite simple to use. It's not too difficult to use. So in this tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you some of the basic things about Audacity, what you can do, what it's about, some of the basic tools, and just showing you around generally. Now, as soon as you open up Audacity, you'll get this help manual. You can look through it if you want. You don't really need to. You just click OK or click the X button. To find Audacity online, I'm going to show you real quick where to get it from. You can just Google Audacity on Google, and it should be the first link here, audacity.sourceforge.net, and you click that and it should be this one right here, Audacity 2.03. and if you have a Mac, I believe they have a Mac version of it. I'm not too sure, but I'm pretty sure they have. You go to download here. I'm pretty sure they have. Yeah, they have a Mac version, Audacity for Mac. So you have if you have Linux, Mac, or Windows, any type of operating system, you do have the opportunity to get the newest version of Audacity. And yeah, you just download that and install, and you're done. It's free, so it's pretty simple. So when you open Audacity, you'll see this right here. The most common tools you're going to be working with are these tools up here, which is the pause button, the play button, the stop button, move backwards, move forward, and the record button. Over here we have separate tools, and all these tools do a different thing. Some of these are more advanced than others, but I'm going to be showing you the basic ones here. And basically the most basic ones here are the selection tool, the zoom tool, the time shift tool, and the other two are a bit more complex. If you are using Audacity for more advanced level work, you can use the envelope tool, the draw tool, and the multi tool mode. I don't really use any of these three tools, so they're not really worthy enough to go over for this specific tutorial. I might make later tutorials telling you what these tools mean. Over here in this section, you have this is your playback volume. So if you're recording something or playing something in this program, say a type of file, this is the output volume, how loud or how quiet the audio will play. And here we have your microphone volume, how loud or how quiet your voice will be recorded. Right here we have, I keep it at MME, so don't change any of these settings here. This setting should stay the same. But right here we have speakers, which obviously if you have headphones, another option will be here. If you have speakers, that'll be there. You have stereo mix and the microphone. Once again, if you have a headset, the headset will be there. If you have a regular microphone like I do, your microphone will be there. And stereo mix, basically what this does is it will record what your computer hears. So if you have a song or if you have any type of sound on your computer, and look at this advertisement, never got this before, but if you have a sound on your computer that you want to record, you can click stereo mix right here and it will record the sound. So let's go ahead and record ourselves real quick just to show you some of the things you can do in this program. So to record, you're going to press this red circle button here. Hello, I'm doing a YouTube tutorial on Audacity, a free recording program for Windows, Mac, and Linux. Thank you. So we have our recording here, and if we play it, I think my volume is that down. Yeah, there we go. Hello, I'm doing a YouTube tutorial on Audacity, a free recording program for Windows, Mac, and Linux. Thank you. So there we have our recording. Obviously, if I put my mic volume down, it'll be a little quieter. If I put my speaker volume down, it'll be quieter as well. So now some of the things you can do with this track. Basically, this tool right here is a selection tool. The selection tool is going to be one of the main tools you're working with. Basically, you can select a piece of audio and split it or delete it. So I'm going to show you how to delete stuff first. Say I want to take off this extra sound right here. You just highlight it with your selection tool. You go up to edit, you go to remove audio, and we have split delete here and delete. Now what delete does, it will basically just delete it. What split delete does is it basically deletes this section of the track. A better example is, say I want to delete this part of the audio. If I click edit, remove audio, delete, as you can see, my track moves backwards, so it all comes together. Now this is I don't really use this option a lot. This is just plain deleting, but some people want to have this silent. What you can do is either separate this and put it into the channel, or what many people have to do is just split delete it. And when you split delete, edit, remove audio, split delete, basically you are silencing or muting or plainly deleting this section of the track, meaning the other parts of the track are not being affected by position. You're only deleting this section of the track, which is a really good tool, which allows you to not run into problems of having to move stuff around. A very easy tool for deleting. So your selection tool is basically going to be to highlight things and put effects on, delete stuff. I'm going to press Control Z here to. Control Z is undo, Control Y is redo. If you're on a Mac, it's Command Z and Command Y. Now some other things you can do is you can split audio. Now, much like a Windows Movie Maker, and if you haven't seen my Windows Movie Maker tutorial, there's a Windows Movie Maker tutorial, and when you split an audio, you basically separate it from the main audio, and you can move it around. To split audio, you basically select the point where you want to split the audio, divide it into two. You go to edit, you go to clip boundaries, you go to split, and basically you can now move with the time shift tool. The time shift tool will allow you to move your splitted section of the track. Now it's not split, that you're going to move the whole thing. So if you want to move part of a track, you have to split it first, and after you split it, you can move that section of the track. Now say you made a mistake and you want to join the track together again. What you can do is simply highlight these two tracks, and you go to edit, clip boundaries, and you click join. Now what this does is, if you split something in the past, you can join it back together. Basically the opposite of splitting things. Now another thing you can do is you can basically cut, copy, and paste. Silence audio, that's muting. So basically if you want a part of the audio muted, which is much like split deleting it, you can remove audio and put silence audio. Basically the same thing as split deleting, only that your track is still there, but it's basically almost the same thing. Some other things you can do is, if we look at basically, let's go over these buttons over here. The play button obviously is to play. The square is to stop it. Now skip to start and skip to end. This basically, you go to the start and you go to the end of the recording. It just moves your little cursor there. So yeah, those are what these two buttons are for. The next thing is the zoom tool. The zoom tool basically lets you zoom in to the wavelengths. This is very important if you want to take out small details of your voice or small details of a recording, you can just do this. You can also go to view, and you can go to zoom in, zoom out, and you can fit to window, which will basically make your track fit to the size of your screen. So in view, you have lots of options for toolbars to come up. If you're missing one of these toolbars, you can make it come back up. Zooming in, zooming out. This is basically the zoom tools, most basic things. In your edit section, you have your preferences, which basically are the options for your program. You can change the options for your program. Some other simple things are duplicate, which is basically if you highlight something, you can duplicate it, basically make another one of it. You also have undo and redo, which is the same thing as Control Z and Control Y. As you can see, the shortcuts here. So if you like using the edit one, you can use that. Clip boundaries, basically just splitting and joining. Not much else to it. Now, I never use the transport much, so it's basically kind of the same thing as these tools right here. As for track, I never really use this much either. You can add a new track, which an audio track. Basically, it'll just add the channel, and you can basically, if you want to record over it, you can start recording over it.
I'm doing a YouTube tutorial.
But you only want to do that, say when you have an instrumental. Say you have an instrumental here. If you're recording a song, you have an instrumental on the top here, and you want to record your voice over it. That's when you can record over your voice just by pressing the record button, and it will make another channel here. It will make another audio track channel. Now, since we're in this area, these tools right here, what this basically does is it makes your track louder or quieter, but what it does is it also increases the bass. If you have a higher rating, your bass will basically increase. Lower rating, your bass will decrease and get quieter, obviously. I don't really use that much. I don't really use this that much. This right here is the left and right, where the audio is coming from, more to the left and more to the right. You have the mute right here, which will basically mute the track. And solo, you have the solo here, which basically mutes every other track. And you can delete channels by pressing this X button here, and you can just simply delete the tracks. Now, generate, I don't really use this that much either, but if you're into mixing music, these are definitely some tracks. These are definitely some things to look at. The biggest thing in this program is definitely effects. You have lots of effects here. I'm going to go over some of the most simple ones. I do have separate tutorials for all of these, so if you want to get some more detail on each tutorial how to do it, there are separate tutorials. I have a tutorial for amplifying. I have a tutorial for noise removal. So there are plenty of. I have tutorials for a good amount of these. Basically, how to implement an effect is by highlighting the part of your track. If you want to put an effect on this part of the track, or if you want to put an effect on the entire track, you can just click this area right here, this box, and it'll highlight your entire channel. And you can go to effect and amplify. It basically makes it louder or quieter, so you can go move it up or down, and it basically make it louder or quieter. Allow clipping means that your volume will extend above the volume level. It basically means that it'll sound a bit loud. It sounds a bit too loud, and your words won't come out clearly. You want to try to avoid clipping, but sometimes a little clipping is fine. So you click allow clipping, okay, and as you can see, the volume is louder.
Hello, I'm doing a YouTube tutorial.
As you can see, it's less unclear. It's less clear. So you want to try to get your volume right when you're recording, so you don't need to amplify it or de-amplify it that much. Another thing we have here is change pitch, which basically changes the changes your voice and how high or how low it is. Changing speed, which is pretty simple. It changes how fast or how slow you're talking. At the same time, it will change your pitch also. Change tempo, it will keep your voice at the same level. It won't change the pitch, so you'll have your same voice level. It won't be high pitch or low pitch. It'll still be your same voice. It'll just be faster. This is a really fun. This is a fun tool to use because you can make yourself talk faster or talk slower without having your pitch affected, because change speed is almost the same thing as change tempo, only that change speed changes your pitch and the speed. So basically change speed is a mix between tempo and pitch. Compressor and echo. The compressor is a bit more advanced. Echo will basically, you can't really do it like this. You have to select a part of the track. Say you wanted to make this word echo. Now this word is tutorial. So if you want to make tutorial echo, you highlight tutorial, you go to effects, go to echo, and you have the delay time and the delay factor. Delay time basically how long after the word is said that the echo will start. Delay factor, how long the echo is. So you click OK, and
tutorial.
And if we go
Tutorial on Audacity.
You see, you can't really notice it because the delay factor needs to be higher. So you want to play around with that. Make sure you can notice the echo. You don't want to put too low seconds. Let me hear.
Tutorial on Audacity. A free.
I heard it a little bit. You have to make the delay factor a little bigger. But usually this happens in the end of tracks, or when there's a pause, so you can actually hear the echo. Some other effects that we have are fade in and fade out. Now, many people will highlight your entire track and think, okay, I'm going to press fade in now, and this will quiet your entire track. So you want to do, for fading in and fading out, you want to select the part of the track where you want to fade out. So if I want to fade this out, say this is the end of my track, I want to fade this out. I go to effects, I go to fade out, and it will slowly fade out my track. You want to select the parts at the end where you want to fade out. The same with the beginning. If you want to fade this in, you have to select the beginning, go to effects, and click fade in. It'll slowly increase in volume. And obviously, the less you have selected, the quicker the fade will be. The more you have selected, the slower the fade will be. Next we have noise removal. These other ones are a bit more advanced. Noise removal, basically, if you have background noise, such as this right here, this is background noise. To get rid of this, you basically use the noise removal function, and you can basically highlight your entire track, and all the background noise will be gone. It's a really, really good tool to use. I have a tutorial on that, so if you want to look at it, go to my channel. Normalize. If you have a track where your voice is loud in some places and low in some places, and the volume is not stable or balanced, click normalize, and it'll basically normalize your entire track to one audio level. I don't really use this that much, mainly because it never really happens to me. But if you have a microphone that does that, normalize is good to keep your audio balanced. Something we have here is repeat and reverse. Obviously, repeat, it repeats a part of the audio. Reverse, it reverses it backwards. Some other things we have here, these are a bit more advanced, so there's not really much of these that I use. I pretty much went over the most basic ones. At the top here, you basically have the last thing you did, you can repeat it. Sometimes you need to make your track louder, so say you increased it by 2 and you say, oh, it's not loud enough. Instead of going into amplify again, clicking 2 and clicking OK, you can just click repeat or Control R or Command R, and it'll basically do the same thing over again. So it saves you time. These functions over here, what this will do is your playback speed. This doesn't really affect the track.
Hello, I'm doing a YouTube tutorial on Audacity, a free recording program for Windows, Mac, and Linux.
This will just affect the playback speed. It won't really affect the actual file.
Hello,
So if you want to put the effect on, you have to click Effect, Change Speed. But this will just change the playback speed. Other than that, I'm going to show you how to save a file, which is basically in File here. You have several options. If you click Save Project As, this will basically just save the project, which means you're still working on editing the audio. You cannot play this file in Windows Media Player. You cannot upload this file to any audio hosting website. It's basically an Audacity file, which means it can only be opened in Audacity, and it basically means you're still working on the audio track. I have some right here, new beat. Basically, I'm still working on it. That's why that's there. But if you want to finalize it and play it in Windows Movie Maker or Windows Media Player or upload it to YouTube or upload it to any site, you have to click Export. Now what this will do, it'll give you a list here. You can put it into different outputs. Audacity will not allow you to put it into MP3 unless you have the LAME plugin. So a pop-up will come and say, oh, you need the new plugin. Do you want to get it? Yes or no? And you click yes and just download it. So a link will be there for you, or you can just search it. Click the search the LAME. I think it's called lame or lime. I'm not sure what it is, but a pop-up will tell you what to search, and you can just download it, and it'll basically install it into Audacity. Very simple. Not really any techie things to do, and then you can save an MP3. Otherwise, you're gonna be stuck with WMA or WAV or any other files that work. I only work with MP3 or WAV. The higher quality is WAV, but realize it is going to take more space. MP3 is a lower quality. It also has a lower size, but I honestly can't tell the difference in sound quality. So you'll be okay if you go with MP3 compared to WAV. So you click Save, and we'll obviously name it first. I'm gonna name this file YouTube. When this chart comes up, this is basically you can fill this out. I believe this is for like iTunes. It'll organize the track. If you have iTunes organized by track or name, this will basically do that for you. But do realize this is not necessary. It's not mandatory. You can add templates here, so you have something made already. You can basically just import it. Click OK. What this will do is sample rate. The higher this number is, the higher quality your audio will be. So you want to make it the highest quality. Click OK. And then your track is exported. You can play it then, and I believe if I go to, here it is, YouTube.
Hello, I'm doing a YouTube tutorial on Audacity, a free recording program for Windows, Mac, and Linux.
So there you go. Some other things to go over real quickly. The bottom right here, this is again just a quality. You want to have the highest quality. Yeah, the higher this is, the better quality it is. Also be aware the bigger your file size will be. So if you're saving in WAV or WMA or any of the other file sizes besides MP3, your file size will be rather large. So be aware when you're saving and when you're deciding on quality. Other than that, these bars right here, these two bars you'll see here
Audacity,
are
a free
they're basically telling you how loud, and this first bar is how loud the playback is. The second bar is how loud your recording is.
Audacity, a free record.
So those are the two bars there. When you see those two bars, not really anything important to worry about. If you want to get technical, basically what it means is if your bars reach the end of the spectrum here, your recording is too loud, so you want to lower it down. If your bars don't reach the end, your recording is too low, and you want to raise the volume. So if you want to get technical and fancy, that's what the bars are for, to tell you if your volume is good enough, or needs to be louder, or needs to be quieter. Other than that, these tools right here are the basic copy and paste tools. Trim, silence. Trim basically the same thing as split. So you have some basic tools here: redo, undo, and your zooming right here. This right here, two stereo and mono stereo. This is basically before you're recording. So if I go Control Z, go back to the beginning. I got a mono recording. Testing 1 2 3. So you can see here that we have mono recording, which is basically one channel. You want to stick on stereo. Mono recording is mainly for I actually forgot what it is for, but if you look it up, it'll tell you the difference. But if for most of your recording, you want to stay on stereo mode. There's rare cases when you go on mono, but I always stay on stereo mode. I forgot the difference between them, so I apologize for that. You can look it up on Google what the difference between mono and stereo recording is. But for your general YouTube recording and your song recording and things like that, you want to stay on stereo. Other than that, I think there's not much else to this tutorial. You have a help button up here, so if you have any more questions, there is help on top of here. The analyze tool is once again a little more advanced. It'll basically analyze your track and give you some statistics of it. I never really use this that much. You can use it if you want to. There's not much. This is mainly just for advanced editing and special effects. So if you want to look into that, you can. But for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm just looking at basic functions. I think that's pretty much it. Other than saving. Oh yes, importing. If you want to import, now be aware this program does support MIDI files, or all the labels and audio. So if you want to import a track, you can just if you want to import say you have an MP3 file, say you have a song from iTunes or from YouTube, any MP3 song, and you want to edit that song, what you have to do is click import audio and basically select your audio. Even if you want to edit an audio you made, here's our YouTube audio. So you can basically import your audio back into Audacity and edit it again. And you can do this with any song. This is how people make songs speed up on YouTube, how to make them go slower, how to make them go 2 times as fast. This is also how some people avoid a copyright infringement. They'll make the first 2 seconds of a song really low pitch or high pitch, so YouTube doesn't pick up copyright infringement. So that's a workaround for that problem. Other than that, I think I've pretty much covered everything. Yeah, so that's basically it. Obviously, you can open project files. You cannot open audio files, so we're trying to open audio files. It would not work. And obviously, the new button up here basically creates a whole new work area. But other than that, I think that's pretty much it. I hope you guys learned something about Audacity. Just for your information, these numbers up here, they go by seconds. The more you zoom in, the more detailed and specific your seconds and milliseconds will go. And the more you zoom out, the wider your range will be. The more you zoom in, the more narrow your range will be. So that's just something to keep in mind. Other than that, I think I'm done here. Thank you all for watching. I have plenty of other tutorials on my channel about Audacity, about GIMP, After Effects, general computer problems, solutions, fixes, lots of different types of tutorials. So if you want to check those out, go ahead and do that. If you like this video, do press like. You can leave some comments for feedback. I always reply to my comments. I've replied to every single comment so far, so I will reply to you if you have a question. If you had a favorite the video, and if you have to subscribe, please do so. I have plenty of videos coming up on this program and other programs. So thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something. This is GS Man Smart, and I'll be back sooner than you think. Don't go anywhere.